What's going on, Juneteenth family?
I have to take the lead because if I don't now, when will I do it?
These are all hands groups mixes from since 90.
And risks are important. Risk creates results.
Make sure that you surround yourself with not only the word, but with positivity.
Foremost for having me on for lunch and learn.
We start off by wearing all of the hats. Pun intended right there on the hats.
But we start special needs children and civilians. I have over 30 years plus experience as a quality professional.
We basically reconstructing what we took part in deconstruct. All the street makers. That's how we came up with street makers.
I almost had to deal with MCA Records at the age of 19.
Wait a
I also partner with other daycares. We're not in a competition yet. We're not in a competition.
What's going on, Juneteenth family? I am your girl, Kiara, aka MBG, here another Thursday for a Lunch and Learn session. I'm excited because today we are talking about the concept to creation. Who am I bringing to the stage? Today I have Miss Lamique Smith, who will be joining us. She is a true luminary in the world of artistry, craftsmanship, and community connection, with an unwavering dedication to infusing her creations with both electric vibrancy and Afrocentric essence. Lamique has established Meeky's Den as a beacon of creativity and cultural celebration. For years, Lamique has honed her craft, seamlessly blending her passion for custom jewelry with a commitment to holistic well-being through handcrafted organic body products. Okay, with each meticulous crafted piece, Lamique not only showcases her artistic prowess, but also imparts a piece of her soul, infusing her creations and a profound sense of authenticity in everything that she does. Please, let's bring Lamique up to the stage.
Greetings, world.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm great.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Let's have fun on here. So before we even start, I want to open up the floor by giving you a chance to give everybody a background of who you are, you know, your upbringing, and how do we get the Lamique that we're sitting across from today.
The Lamique that sits across from you today actually went through a whole personal healing, and basically the Meeky's Den came at a time where it was like a distraction for me because I was going through so much at this time, and I kind of fell into it. I brought something from someone and it broke, and I was very upset with it because I loved the piece. And then I said, I think I can do this. And I went online, I found, you'll find that I'm a person that's very sporadic at times. Like I'll just go and do something. So I bought a $2,300 machine.
Okay.
I taught myself how to use it to start cutting art and designing. I taught myself a program so that I can actually draw in the program and then started cutting pieces, you know. But it came at a time where I was at an all-time low, and it's something that lifted me up in spirit. And then I found over the years, it helps lift other people's spirits, not even realizing what was happening and what the universe was doing and providing for me as healing. It was also helping others along the way.
Come on now. Come on. I love these stories of when we repurpose our pain in any kind of way to make it purposeful, like and it creates a passion infused within us that we don't even know that's coming. So that's beautiful within itself. I want to open up our conversation by asking you, what is the definition of art to you? What does art mean to you? What does art look like to you? What does art feel like to you? How do you even identify what art is?
Okay, so art is you. right? Because you are your own work of art. So art is your own individuality in whichever way you sway, whether it be painting, wiring, spoken word, you know, however you normally express yourself. And art to me, like you said, how do I identify art when I see it? Art is just, it's just everywhere. It's inspiring. It's people. It's people. It's their personality. You know, it can be somebody's smile that I see, you know, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a great piece. That actually happened to me. And I made some half moon, but with a sunshine earring, you know. I mean, you can just find inspiration anywhere when it comes to art.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And you gave us a little bit of background with the start of Meeky's Den and what inspired you to start that, and, you know, the vision there. Can you just elaborate on that? I'll open the floor to elaborate on that.
Well, actually,
use that.
Yeah. So actually what happens, and I normally don't say this, I was going through a very tough time in a relationship with my ex-husband, and I was I left. Like I pick up, left, grab my kids, transition somewhere else. You know, I was at that time miserable. I was suffering through from autoimmune disease. And like I said, I brought these earrings. I was like, oh, I think I can do it myself. So I was spontaneous. I ordered this machine. I taught myself how to do it. And then I started making jewelry just for myself. I went to a race one day. There was a woman at the race, and she admired my earrings at every race because I used to be a runner. So you see all my medals back here. Okay. So that's something that I dove into because I was trying to find something to calm my spirit, to just keep me going, because I was at an all-time low and I was trying to figure out how to survive. Right. So this woman came up to me at a race and she said, you know what? I love those earrings. Where'd you get them? And this time I said to her, I made them. And she's like, no, you didn't. I was like, no, I did. She said, great. So at the end of the race, I'm going to buy them from you, you know, and you can make yourself a new pair since you made them, because she thought I was lying. So at the end of the race, she found me and now she's a dear friend and customer, because she is the start of Meeky's Den. She got the word out. Oh, there's this young lady. She's doing all these different pieces and they're different from everybody else's. And you can just feel the love from them, you know. So she started, that was the beginning of Meeky's Den. And then she kept texting me, Meeky, so when are you going to put your stuff online? Because I was playing around in her face with it. I would just text her things that I did. And she's like, no, you need to share it with the world. And once I did, it was so fulfilling. Like it was just so fulfilling to see somebody wearing your piece, or to see somebody admiring it, or either to see somebody inspired to do something and they just start to come and ask all these questions. Also, something else that I do with any customer that I have is I give them a 15-minute consultation.
Oh, I
like
like that.
You can take that 15-minute consultation to either, if it's a head wrap, we're going to do a head wrap consultation, and I'm going to show you how to style your head wrap. This is something also that I make, and I wired the word in between there or whatever. But I try to give a 15-minute consultation, and for me, that 15-minute consultation always goes back into a person saying something personal or something that's, you know, been bothering them. And I just kind of try to give them reassurance that everything will be okay. You know, Meeky's Den is all about honing into yourself and productivity, you know, and loving yourself and expression, you know. And I always tell them that, you know, regardless of what, if it's not about a piece that you brought for me, you can actually call me and I'll be that shoulder for you to lean on. And the reason why I do that is because I didn't have that. You know, I had to find my own outlets to get me to where I needed to be, you know. So I feel like the universe is using me as a vessel to help heal the community, piece by piece, butter by butter. So
come on.
And also massage, because I'm now a massage therapist.
Okay, so that within itself was just a handful. You said so many gems within there, and what I'm taking from that is just some of the things that stuck out to me. It's just, you know, connection, passion is one thing, you know, but when you're able to connect and you build those connections and those relationships. And
Right.
it's not just, you know, a customer, but this is somebody that I'm caring for. You know, I'm giving you a service, but I'm also, you know, I want to know how you're doing. I want to know what you're going through. I want to know what you're dealing with. And that's what I think that makes or breaks a business, you know, and that really defines true character when you're talking about, you know, foundation of business, because people need that. Just like you said, I needed that and I didn't have that. So you creating that outlet for somebody is bigger than you even know, because just that source is, you know, that is so important. And I wanted to ask, what was the inspiration behind some of your designs? I know you said, you know, you go for what's happening at those moments, and even when you're making pieces for clients, you know, you go for the things that they ask. But in particular, do you have some of your favorite? What are some of your favorite pieces or designs? And even when you're talking about like the electric and the Afrocentric flair, what are the inspirations behind those things?
Okay, so for me, I've always been attracted. So you'll find a lot of my pieces have cowrie shells. I don't know. I've been attracted to cowrie shells since I was like 8 years old. I used to wear the little cowrie shell earrings. My mom would take me to festival, you know, and we would buy different things. So I was always attracted to different things. And I've always been a little bit eclectic and different, you know. You had to take me in doses because you're like an old soul. You know, so a lot of my pieces come from, I have things called ear affirmations, right?
Okay.
Because I feel like when you wear it and maybe you look at yourself in the mirror or somebody else sees it, you may inspire someone else, and it also makes you feel good. So I do things like these are something new, because I normally work with wood. It says self, right? And it's mirrored. And then I have the other one that says love. So I want you to remember that self-love is the best love, and you must do that for yourself, because without that, you're nothing. You know,
Yes.
like they say in a relationship, trust. If you don't have trust, if you don't trust yourself, then you lost self. So you have to remember that you have to keep that self-love going. So that's something that, you know, I kind of always do. And then other pieces, I may see a piece of fabric. So right now I'm going to pull my curtain over.
Come on.
I have my curtain here, right? So
Love
now I looked at my curtain and I'm like, how could I jazz that up? I went and I created like a zebra piece. You know, zebra is sort of kind of like the zebra in Africa, the stripes, the colors. Not everything really matches, but somehow it all kind of blends together. There's also sometimes where I wake up in the middle of the night and I have a notebook next to my bed. So I'll just sit up and I'll just kind of like write some stuff down and draw some things out, and I'll go back to sleep. And when I wake up, I'm always amazed at what I find. As long as I'm clear, you know. So meditation is key too, right? So I find if I don't meditate, I don't have that clarity, and I can't see, I can't feel, and my spirit isn't driven to do anything, right? So there's days, like I said, after meditation, I may go ahead and get in bed and I have that notebook and I wake up to notes that I wrote myself for maybe a new product that I need to make. Sometimes I'll have herbs there that I never even heard of, and now I'm going to look them up in my Bible, in my Bible to see what it is. And I'm like, this really exists? And I'll have a whole list there of things, and then when I put them together, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is something that's great for eczema. I never, you know, and it may be things that I never saw. And then it may also be that I draw out an earring. I draw out ear cuffs all the time. I'm trying to see. Okay, I have this here. So I saw this in one of my dreams. Let's see if I can get it there. This is a regular earring for one ear. And I normally make the ear cuff that goes around. But I'm like, I need to do something different. And this came to me. You clamp this on. It has a garnet, and it also has a Herkimer quartz diamond, because I'm highly into crystals as well. And I just put a chain on there to just give it some oomph, you know. So I'm inspired by a lot of different things. I just may see something and say, okay, I could do that differently. How could I put my own twist on it? I could be inspired by someone else, but not taking their idea at all.
Absolutely.
You know, I make my own. I do something totally different and put a spin and a twist on it.
I love it. And you speaking right to me, especially with the thoughts and the ideas, and you having to wake up. And sometimes you have to sleep on things. Sometimes you gotta, just like you said, you know what, I gotta meditate. Maybe I gotta leave it alone. I was gonna ask you, I know as a writer, sometimes writer's block is real. I know as an artist, sometimes that block might be it, is real. And I was gonna ask, what do you do in those moments? But I don't know if that's your full answer with the meditation and, kind of leaving it alone. But what do you do in those moments that you might have creative block?
So I've had creative block for like maybe 3 months in making jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized it was because I needed to do other things to bring two things together so that I can make it whole. Right. Yeah. So behind me, I have a board. Let me see if I can turn. I have writing on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And it's things that came to me while I was sleeping about other things. So once I've started to finish the list up there, now the creativity came back and the flow came back with new ideas for jewelry and different things that was. So what it was is that sometimes you may have to put it down and just leave it there for the moment and walk away. It's not forgotten. It's not forgotten. And you're not procrastinating, but you just need to give yourself a moment and give yourself that grace, to be able to come back to that. And then you may be somewhere else doing something else. Oh, shoot, you know what? Let me go and do that because now I have this idea, that idea, and this idea. So what it is that I do is give myself grace. If I feel overwhelmed, I stop. I put it down. I back away from it. I am a perfectionist. I don't know where that came from. So if I'm wiring something and it's not turning in a circle properly the way that I want it, I'm frustrated with myself and my hands. But I give myself that grace to put it down and go focus on something else for the moment. And then all of a sudden I'll get that win. Okay, go back now. And I'll just go and I'll get going. And I can make like 10 of them. And the other thing about that as well, I want to say about Meeky's Den is no two pieces are ever going to be alike because it's handcrafted and handmade. So each piece is really a piece of me, so when somebody comes back and they're like, oh, I brought these, could you remake them? I can remake them, but I can't promise you that they'll come out the same way that they came out the first time.
I love that. That's fire. That's fire. And even in that, creative process and walking away from things, sometimes it enhances the idea in a way that you're like, oh, I was thinking a little small. I gotta think bigger because this is bigger than what I was thinking. I needed to sit on this for a while. I needed to, step away, just like you said, step back from this for a while because, I gotta give my mind some time to really soak in on what my purpose is with this project and how am I gonna bring this to life. So I resonate with that so well. How long does it usually take to craft these earrings? How long is it a different time? Like how long is that process?
It depends on what it is. Sometimes I can do it in 5 minutes. Sometimes it'll take me an hour. But like when I'm going, I can do multiple pieces at a time. I'll show you. Let me just push my chair back and grab my little thing on the wall. When I have, like when I'm stressed, right? And I have so many things going on, I tend to grab wire and just sit there and just wire things. So this is how the wired earrings start. They all go onto here. It looks like junk, right? It looks like junk, but I'll wire 1 or 2 and I'll put them all on here together. And this right here may be 30 minutes of just sitting still.
Okay.
So it just may be like 30 minutes. So you'll see it's all different types of trying to get because the sun is moving now. It just looks like, for me, I say, you know what, Lamique, that looks like junk. You need to get it off and do something because, so I'll just sit here and just wire and then I'll just put them all on here. And then when I get it full is when I start to sell them. I'm like, okay, now I can let them go. I don't know. Something just tell me you can do it now. And I just start hooking. And they're like, well, how did you do this? In 30 minutes. All of these earrings were done in 30 minutes once my hands were going. And I just stay in that space. And even my family knows when I'm there, leave me alone. Once they see
she wiring, leave her alone.
Leave her alone. She's wiring. I'm smelling the incense going, and I'm hearing her music, and I hear her sound bowl music going. We have to leave her alone and just let her do her thing.
Yes.
Just let her do her thing.
Man, I love it. I love it. When you're talking about because I know you indulge in more than just, the art when we're talking about the body products and
right.
Now let's dive into that. How do we get there? What does that look like? What is that process like?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the idea and the inspiration behind that?
Okay, so the idea was to help. I was at a sympathetic time when my daughter's skin was breaking out.
Mm-hmm.
I myself was going through a lot of different problems with products that I was buying. I was having outbreaks, and I was back and forth to the dermatologist, and I had that testing done where you have like your back looks like a piece of braille, basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But my daughter, I don't know, pediatritis, I'm not sure if anybody knows what that is, but it's like your body is lit like a Christmas tree.
Okay.
Right, and it can go through all over your body. She also had psoriasis, and so pediatritis is something that can go away, over time on its own. But I found a way to push it off even faster. And then she had eczema, and she was having acne problems with her face. And how could when something is going on with your skin, it messes with you internally and your self-esteem. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to just help her because I just saw that she was feeling hopeless and helpless, So I just went to work. First, I started off with a shea butter. I was like, okay, shea butter is supposed to have this, this, and this, right? And then I went and bought a herbal book, a herbal Bible. And I started to look up things that calm eczema, what herbs to use. And then I went to bed and I woke up and I had the rations written there, and I didn't know what was happening or what I was doing. So then I started to mix and blend, and she would apply it to her skin, and I saw that it was changing. It was getting lighter. Yeah. It wasn't so dark. It was, the skin was coming back alive because it was looking like dead in some spots. So if you go on my website, you can actually see the pictures of her arm that we took, her hands, and what her skin looks like now and then. And you can see it was just love, care, and just wanting to help. So then it went out into the community. My girlfriend had a problem. I said, let me see if I can mix something up to help you. It helped her. Then she went and she said, okay, my granddaughter has this. What do you think about this? So I'm looking at it. I'm not a dermatologist. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm looking at it. I'm like, this looks like, and then it would just come to my head. It's just really weird how that came about. But I know that that's something that I need to continue to do because I'm being used as that vessel to help heal others in that way as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I personally, when I was a kid, oh my God, my eczema was terrible. Like everywhere, my face, my hands, and just you saying, it does something internally. Not that, okay, I know I'm beautiful. I know this,
right.
But it's the outer appearance is like, okay, I don't want to look like this.
Right.
I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel insecurity of like, I don't want people staring at me. I don't want people, saying, oh, what's wrong with her skin or what, and as a kid, that's, as a kid, that's something, kids are very frank. They're gonna speak, and sometimes kids are cruel, so it's like, I don't want nobody to make fun of me. And I prayed day and night, and we tried all different kind of remedies and, different things. And gratefully, I found something that worked. But it's just like you say, care, love, consistency, and really just believing and staying steadfast with that it makes the change. So yes, I believe, I know firsthand that, though these things are real, and they make all the difference. So I'm gonna tap in and try some of your stuff too, because you never know.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I keep it natural. I keep it 100% natural. I don't like colorants. I don't like maca powder. I know everybody loves it. I'm not. If you use it, that's your preference. I just don't think that it blends well when you're mixing herbs and stuff together. And it's
Yeah.
supposed to be natural. But I just urge everyone to just go out there and look. I'm not down on anybody that does it. That's your thing, but it's not my thing. My colorants come from the actual herbs. So if it's green, it's something green in it. You know, if it's yellow, there's something yellow in there that turns it yellow. You know, so there's no colorants at all in them.
Yeah. Yes, and that's important too. Knowing what you're using, knowing the ingredients that you're using, because we just almost factory shelves. We just buy whatever we see. Oh, I heard this is good. I heard this, but you're not really paying attention to what you're putting in your body or on your body, and those things matter too. You know, those things absolutely matter too. I want to ask you, are there any memorable stories? I mean, I know you shared just now with helping friends and, you know, being able to help your friend's granddaughter and things of that nature, but are there any memorable stories, customer reactions, or, you know, things that stand out to you that really gave you the reassurance that, like, nah, this all right, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you know?
Yes.
That you share with us.
There was once I was out vending, and a woman approached me at a vending event, and she asked 1,000 questions about my products, and I answered the 1,000 questions. And then her friend said, "You're getting under her skin and under her nerves." I said, "No, she's not. She's not. She has to get through this. There's something that she needs to know or that she's seeking, you know, and I'm just going to take my time." So I always kind of bring somebody else. A lot of times you'll see my mom with me when I'm vending, because she knows to kind of just go ahead and keep going and keep the customers happy while I'm engaging with one person. But then she also says to me, "You need to learn when to cut it." I was like, "There's no time to cut it." Sometimes I'll say, "Just stay right there and I'll be right back." But this particular time, she doubted a bar of soap that I was telling her would help her. Right. I was like, "I think that this is what you need." And she doubted it. Right. So about 2 weeks later, after she brought the soap, she said, "Okay, if I don't, I'll go." And I said, "Go make a Google review then. You can give me a bad review." I said, "But I doubt that you will." So she called me back and she said, "Meeky." And I'm like, "Who is this?" And then she told me, and I said, "Okay, can you refresh my memory?" And she said, "I met you here." And I was like, "Oh yeah, I remember you." She's like, "You do?" She said, "No, you don't." And I told her exactly what she had on. We talked for a long time. And she's like, "My neck is lightening up. You won't believe it. It's really the rash that I had there is going away after using the soap." And I said, "I told you." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so grateful for you." She said, "So I'm going to go on your website now and I'm going to order it for my son that has the same issue. And I'm going to put a couple other friends on to you. Your stuff really should be in stores." And it just made my day, and it just let me know that, you know what, you have to keep going, regardless of what, keep going. And not every product that I make makes it to an event and gets a label. I go through a whole process of just giving it away for free at first. Yeah. And then after maybe giving away 60 times or 90 times and I get good reviews back, I go make a label for it and I go, "Okay, you get to stay." There's things that don't get to stay, and I just get rid of it. And I'm like, that's it. That's not the it thing. And I'm not into fads at all when it comes to that. I am my own fad. You know?
I love it. And that you know what, that process within itself of testing a product, you know, and really giving it a trial run. You know, sometimes people, you know, oftentimes we just go for what we like. Oh, I like it. It worked for me. It's gonna be a bestseller, or, you know, it's gonna work for everybody. But just hearing that, I think that's a true gem within itself. And I personally can take and learn from that, because that's something, you know, that we need to do. And just it really gives us a chance to truly understand what this product is, what it's going to do, how it works in all shapes and forms, and how can it work as a collective for, you know, so many different people, because everybody is not the same.
Right.
So that's key. How do you maintain the balance of ensuring quality, that you just talked about, and still meeting the demands of your business?
Okay. So I wrote that down because I was like, you have to make sure investing in training and resources. So the way I did it, I don't think is the proper way to do it. Where I trained myself and taught myself. It took me so long, right?
Yeah.
So you want to invest in training, to do certain things to make sure that you're doing it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to streamline your process. A lot of people have it up here, put it on paper so that you can see all your steps and how much time it takes you to get from one thing to another.
Yeah.
You have to prioritize things. So create lists like this
Mm-hmm.
for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because this list changes every few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Create a list for yourself and stick to the timeline. Try to stick to the timeline, but don't beat yourself up if you're not able to. Create another list and add that thing, but don't let it go on for don't let it go beyond 3 weeks, because now it's becoming a place where you're going into procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then the other thing is, for me, quality assurance. Remember that your customers are your priority.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure that your quality of your product is accepted by your customer.
Yeah.
And also listen to what they're telling you, and the feedback that you're getting from different people about timelines and different things of that nature. So I think, and also learn to just hone in on your craft. Just hone in, do what you got to do, get it done, set it and forget it, and go away. And find your niche, right? And understand that your niche is not one thing.
Yes.
It's okay to have more than one thing going on at a time, because I was told focus on one thing at a time, and I'm like, I can't. It's just not possible. I'm a scatterbrain like that anyway. So I have 10 things going on in my head, and I want to take care of 5 things at one time. And while building your brand, also try and, how could I say, try and embrace sustainability at the same time, right? You have to do that. And again, I already said, listen to your customers and always stay resilient.
Yeah.
You're going to have those days where nobody may buy,
Yes.
You may have that website and you had this bright idea and you thought, I put up a website, everybody's going to come.
Yeah.
No, you're going to have your bad days. You're going to have your good days, but at the same time, stay resilient and give yourself that grace that you need to keep going.
Yes.
And
come on.
That's it.
Giving the gems. Meeky is giving the gems today. Okay. I'm definitely gonna replay this and write down a few notes and a few gems, because all you said is really true. Just me, myself, I know that, just like you said, people often reiterate, focus on one thing. You're focusing on too much, focus on one thing. But just like you said, my brain
I don't work like that.
It does not work like that. I have so many ideas at so many times, and I don't think that you should overextend yourself to where, but if you have more than one idea, I think it's very, very possible to focus on multiple things and to give your time, and to give, as long as you're going to, just like you said, really hone in on these crafts and hone in on what you believe. And if you really are passionate about something, you take it seriously, and you'll be the difference, and you'll make the changes that need to be made, and you'll
because understand
to it.
Right, because understand that if you don't believe in what you're selling, how is a customer going to believe in you?
Yep.
So they feel that. They can feel that energy from you, and they're like, nah, I'll pass.
Right.
I'm just going to keep going. I've had people that come, leave, go everywhere else, and then come back. And they're like, no, I had to come back and get this because no. This is a vibe. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. And that's just setting yourself apart, you know, and
Yeah.
it's not even without even focusing on the competition. This is what I'm doing. I'm not even worried about this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. This is what I
Right.
have that can benefit you. I'm here for you. So this is, you know, this is what I'm doing. This is a connection between us. So I think that absolutely sets you apart from everybody else. What advice would you give somebody who may even have just the idea, you know, and they're like, I don't know if I could do it. You know, I don't know if, you know, I really have this sense of artistry, or I don't know if I could be an entrepreneur. I don't know if I, you know, I like jewelry and I want to do it, but I don't know if I like, what advice would you give them to just, you know, jump on that leap of faith, I guess?
First off, if you have an idea, right? Because everything starts with just an idea, right? Write that idea down. Okay, if you're unsure of it, write it down, set it and forget it, like I said before, and you'll come back. If you have to come back to it and look at it more than one time, then this is something that you really need to do. You know, you need to develop it, you need to grow it, let that become your baby, and take your time with it. Just be easy peasy, you know, don't stress yourself out about it. And the other thing is that I always say, don't, like, in a sentence, if you say, I don't know if I can, like, I don't know those words. You know, like in my house with my children growing up, I don't know if I can, oh, you don't, you know, and then we have to go to building their self-esteem, you know, because I see that something is wrong there. So even in growing a business, you know, I don't think no, you can.
Yes.
You can. If the idea is there, then use that idea and grow it into something bigger than yourself. You know, but you like, again, it all comes from within. If you don't have that self-worth, then entrepreneurship is not for you. You're not going to make it, because you have to have that self-worth, and you have to have that sense of knowing that this is what I want to do and this is why I'm here. You have to have that purpose behind it as well. You know, because if you don't and you're just doing it to make money, plenty of people do that. But then what happens is that they lose themselves. They're soulless, spineless. They have money and they're miserable. You know, so true entrepreneurship is about that gut feeling of being satisfied. So that's what that is. That's what I would tell someone else.
Yes. Any upcoming projects or pieces, or, you know, any little exclusives you want to share with us today? What is Meeky working on? What are you currently working on now? What's the next step? What's going on? Okay,
so what I'm trying to do now is tie my two companies into one, because I said that I went into massage therapy.
Yes.
And so the reason why I went into massage therapy was to help my community, because I realized, although we're loved by our parents, we're not touched the proper way to stimulate certain, you know, neurons and things in the system into the brain. So a lot of people don't get what they need. So I am that person that will come in and give you that love and touch, you know. So I went back to school. That was part of it. So you may have seen Meeky's Den slow down for a little while I take care of my new baby just a little bit. But I haven't forgot about her, because we're going to tie her in, you know, with the new business, with the products, all under one roof, where there'll be massage therapy. And massage therapy, for some, is just something that they go get, you know, because it feels good. But massage therapy is way more than that. It's way more than that. I also have something called a safe space session. So if you book a massage, you can also book the safe space session. And what it is there's no eye-to-eye contact. The person is laying on a table, they're comfortable. And normally when you're comfortable and you're not really facing anybody at that moment, you can let go of some stuff, right? So I allow people to let go of their stuff. I say, let me take that from you and let me discard it, right? So that you can leave a new, vibrant person, you know? So new things that are coming for me is currently I'm a mobile therapist. I'm trying to figure out what that really is going to look like for me, if it's going to be a space, because I do know that I do want to have a space where people can come to and they can just, like, everything is like jumbled up in my head, but I can actually see it.
Nice.
I just want, my vision is to have a space where community has a sense of being, you know? So regardless of where you are, maybe you don't want to come for a massage today. You have something else going on. You can go into one of the other rooms and talk to a counselor, you know, a mental health counselor, you know. So I'm just developing what this space looks like. There's going to be space for seniors. There's going to be space for children and financial literacy, you know, because a lot of us don't get that growing up. And also a lesson in entrepreneurship. You know, so that's what my space is going to be. So it's not going to be massage. It's not going to be, it's just going to be a community-based place. That's what I see it being as, and that's what I'm working towards, to get the funding so that I can find the actual space and do it, you know, and get it done.
Come on, that you must have saw my next question, because I was going to ask you about community, but I don't even have to ask the question, because it really just embody everything. Like, I think that idea is brilliant. I think that it's not even think, I know that it's absolutely needed. Just the resources, just the outlet, just building relationship, you know. Community is relationship, and we really need to not just say that, but mean it, act on it, you know, show up for one another, you know. It's always like, oh yeah, I'm here for you, girl, but give me, you know, a sense of like comfort in that being there for me. Let me know that I have a safe place and a safe haven, and I can come. I think that's going to change lives. Go ahead.
And I don't want to exclude anybody. You know, like, this is a women's group and this is this group. No, it has to be all inclusive. Creating a space that's all inclusive for everybody.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I have to ask you, how do you pour back into Meeky? How do you pour back into yourself? You know, giving so much to others through your art, through, you know, body products, through creating this new project. How do you make sure that your self-care is taken care of? How do you take care of you?
You know, I had a problem with that for a long time. I did. There was times where I would just sit there and just cry, because I felt like, I know that I'm doing the work that I want to do, but I just felt like I wasn't reaching as many people as I wanted to reach. Yeah. So then it goes back into the only way I take care of me now is I also invested in another course of learning how to play the sound bowls. So I'll go and play the sound bowls for hours for myself and just have that one-on-one time with myself. I'll journal, you know, and get my thoughts, ideas, and how I was feeling today out, you know, so I can go back and look at that and see what I need to work on within myself. Like, what were my words saying at that time, you know, what do I need to not necessarily fix, but change just a little bit, shift just a little bit about me. I also went back to therapy, you know, and therapy is something that is, I mean, it's becoming a new, but a lot of people look at it the wrong way. So the same way I take on everybody else's stuff, right? And I say, and let me get rid of it, right? And I cleanse myself and I do my prayers and my meditation. I now take my stuff and put it in this bag and drop it off with somebody else.
Yeah.
And then I just go ahead and move on. And I'm just like, well, thank you for that. I feel lighter, you know? So that's how I take care of me. And then when I have those days where I'm confused or I'm tired, I just rest. Rest is the key to everything. Rest is the key to your body doing what it needs to do to just rejuvenate itself, to heal, you know, and I make sure I get a lot of sleep, you know, at a certain time, I turn that phone. My phone goes off into D&D. I have the internet that shuts down. So, there's just no distractions. I can just be by myself, with myself and my thoughts, and go through the processes that I need to do to keep me whole.
I'm working on the resting part. Because I don't know, for some reason, the go mode of like, like, if I don't get it done, like, I time is not, I'm working against time if I don't get, but you really just said what's key. Resting is key. If I continue to keep going at it, it's like, no, you're going to burn yourself out before you can even get it done. So it's really like, but just when the brain doesn't shut off, it's like, okay, it's here. So now I got to work on it. But it's also like, okay, it's here. You have it already. So write it down and rest on it, and get
just
the
rest and relax.
Yeah.
Because we tend to put ourselves in fight or flight mode, which is not good at all. It's not good for the cells in our body to rejuvenate. It's not good at all. It just causes all these different types of breakdown and disease. So rest is most important. You have to rest. I know that it's that same project is going to be there. I understand that you have those deadlines, but when you have deadlines, prioritize your time so that you're not pressed, and start early.
Yeah.
To get it done so you finish early, and then you can look it over with a clear mind and head and say, okay, is there anything that I need to change there? Can I do this a little bit better? Let me just move this around there. And you'll have so much more clarity if you just give yourself that grace. And again, prioritizing is a key. And remember that you are a priority.
You are write it down, y'all. Write it down. You are the priority. Absolutely. Yes. I want to jump into some questions that we ask everybody before we let them. Who is your favorite hip hop artist?
I have two. Common and Mos Def.
Come on.
I feel like they speak it's not the gibberish that we're hearing, It's not the gibberish. They actually have something to say, and the way they put it in words and on paper, they're just like legendary poets when I look at it, and if you listen to them sometimes, they're a whole vibe in itself, but it'll put you back to just thinking about, oh shoot, did he just say that? Well, wait a minute, there's a message in the music, and so those are my two picks.
I could I'm a music head, I'm a DJ, I'm all that. So when I hear people that actually appreciate the essence of what music is, I'm not even going minimize it to hip hop, but just the lyrical context and the content and and what that is. You just like you said, it's poetry. It's spoken word. It's what we deal with. But magnifying it on a different level.
And when you look at it, it goes all the way back when when we were at a time that, because I don't like the word, when we were, that's what I say. Okay.
Back then, right.
That time, right. What did we do? We created songs.
Yes.
We created dance, and it just gave everybody purpose to just keep going and lifted them up.
Yes.
So that's the type of music that I like to listen to, hear, that feel good music. If it don't feel good, I'm not listening to it.
Come on now. If it don't feel good, I don't want it. If it don't feel good, I don't want it. What does Juneteenth mean to you?
Okay. I was ready. I said, I can't. It's a celebration of freedom, resilience, and community for me. We have processed so much as a people, and it's just a time that we recommit to our community. So that's what Juneteenth means to me, recommitting to the community. you know, we've been through so much and gone through so much, and it's just, we have to go back to that whole envision of it takes a village.
Yes.
So that's what Juneteenth means for me.
Yes. Juneteenth. Listen, the festival is coming. I'm gonna tell y'all about that. I'm gonna tell y'all about that. But just please, everything she said, we embodying that with the festival that is coming up, that I will tell you about in just a few minutes. What do you want the community to take away from today's session? Because I got a lot from today's session myself. Let me just add that while you think about your answer.
Okay, go ahead.
I got a lot. I got a lot from yeah. I got some
truth. I want the community to take away from this session. You can do anything that you put your mind to.
Mm-hmm.
If you put your mind to it, you can get it done. Believing in yourself goes far more. Okay, so you have to believe in yourself in order to get things done. You know, in life, like say, let me just bring it back again. What do I want them to take away from this?
No,
I want them to take away from this.
That's real.
Knowing you, just knowing you, and trusting yourself, and moving forward, whatever it is that you want to move forward with, and getting it done. Just believe in yourself.
Come on.
You know, be daring, be different, be you. That's what Meeky's Den is all about.
Come on. Yes, yes. And I want to ask you personally, what is one thing that you feel you owe yourself now? What's one thing that you feel you owe yourself one day? And what's one thing that you feel you owe yourself now? What's one thing that you feel you owe yourself later? And what's one thing that you feel you owe yourself one day?
Okay. One thing that I owe myself now is I owe myself an apology. Right? I owe myself an apology for beating myself up all the years when I didn't understand. I didn't understand what was happening and what was going on. And I feel like at the time, I shouldn't say I feel, at that time, I was living in a victimized state, right? And not knowing my power. So that's what I would say to myself now. Then you said
now, later.
You did this. This is a jewel. The community loves you. Look at what you've created. And then where are we going next?
One day.
One day. One day is that I left behind a legacy. Ooh. And everyone will know who Meeky's Den is and what I'm about. And everyone will know who Clara Rose is, because we didn't go into that, which is my grandmother, both of my grandmothers that have passed on.
Oh, come on,
so that's the name. Those are the name. That's the name of my product line, Clara Rose, and they're both no longer here. But you know, I'm doing that for them, and that's my way of paying homage to them. And then I'll also be paying homage to myself as well, knowing that I left a legacy behind.
Come on now. And you just saying that, it gives me reassurance of what I'm doing, and how, because my brand, my book is I Had a Praying Grandmother, and my brand is I Had a Praying Grandmother, but just the legacies of generations, the generational love, the generational prayer, being able to reflect on those things and use that, and like really honing on what that tradition meant, right? And carrying the responsibility to keep their legacies alive in what we do now, and just creating a new way for others to follow behind, so that it speaks volume, and it's real, and it's already done. It's already done. You walk in and you're working in your purpose and your passion, and it's showing. It resonates in just conversation with you. So I want to say congratulations that we see you. You are doing it, continue. And to all any business owners, any entrepreneurs that may be watching this right now, excuse me, May 15th, 7 p.m. Can we get that flyer up? We have a vendors information session that you can absolutely tap in with us and have your chance to display your talent, your business by being a vendor this year at the Juneteenth Festival. Okay, so May 15th, 7 p.m. Tap in. Athenia will be on the call. She will tell you everything that you need to know, the perks about it, payment plans, everything, the benefits of being a part of this amazing festival will be disclosed during this information session. So do not miss that. And also, we have to celebrate the parade that will be going on, the Juneteenth 2024 parade. It will be taking place on June 15th. We'll be marching through the heart of Gershwin, commemorating the emancipation of the enslaved African Americans, while honoring and enduring the legacy that we have to continue on. Okay, make sure you go to our website and secure your spot in the parade. You can go to juneteenthnyc.org/parade to sign up and join in on the festivities. Okay, so don't forget to do that. Go to the website, sign up, and if you have not registered to be a vendor yet, go do that now. Okay, and that is going to take place at our vendors information session, which is on the 15th. Meeky, it has been a complete honor to sit here with you today, to talk with you. Please tell the people where they could follow you, where they could contact you, where they could purchase, where they could support, all of that good stuff.
Okay, so if you want to find Meeky's Den, you can find me as Meeky's Den on Instagram, Meeky's_Den on Instagram. On Facebook, I'm just Meeky's Den. Or you can just Google me, right? Google Meeky's Den and, it'll come up. The website will come up and you'll be able to find everything. For the Den Wellness, the Den Wellness is the den-wellness.com. That's the other website. And my, I think she actually put it, it's actually going across the
yes, everything is
yeah. So my IG is also the den_wellness on IG. Just understand, I'm in the beginning stages. I'm growing. I'm glowing. Follow me and just get ready. I'll be offering eventually some sound bowl sessions and some meditation sessions in the morning. So you can do your 15, your 5, 5, and 5-minute journal, 5-minute meditation, and being still, and then 5 minutes of loving on yourself.
Come on, tap in. She's growing and glowing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. We will absolutely connect. Make sure you follow her, just like she said. Visit those websites. Follow me as well. Fabian BG on everything. And make sure you check out I Had a Praying Grandmother. Our social media page, I Had a Praying Grandmother, and our website, IHadAPrayingGrandmother.shop. Make sure you follow Juneteenth NYC. Tap in with us, social media, everything Juneteenth NYC. Make sure Juneteenth NY, I'm sorry, and make sure you tap in with our website, JuneteenthNY.com. And tap in with us for this parade. The festivities coming up is going to be amazing. You don't want to miss your chance to be a part of this. All right. Until next time, Meeky, it was a pleasure. Again, thank you for joining us today. Whenever you want to stop back through, just let us know, and we are here. Okay. When you get these new things flowing and you ready to talk, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Okay?
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next time, same place. I'll see y'all next week. We out. What's going on, Juneteenth family?
I have to take the lead, because if I don't now, when will I do it?
These are all dance groups, mixes from since 90.
And risks are important. Risk creates results.
Make sure that you surround yourself with not only the word, but with positivity.
Foremost for having me on for lunch and learn.
We start off by wearing all of the hats. pun intended right there.
I
We
work with special needs children and disabilities. I have over 30 years plus experience as a quality professional.
We basically reconstructing what we can part and deconstruct. All the street maintenance. That's how we came up with street maintenance.
I almost had to deal with MCA Records at the age of 19.
Wait a minute.
I also partner with other daycare. We're not in a competition there. We're not in a competition.